what most women think of being a strong, independent woman is that you will never ask for help from anyone. Like not even your parents, not even your boyfriend. You just have everything in control, which is a lie. Like you must have your downs and. But most women wanaona tu like, oh, mimi strong, independent woman, no, hata mimi kwa handbag, like.
Hi, my people. Welcome back to Startup Podcast. So, we have a special guest. So, let me start by introducing myself. I'm Becca.
I'm Dana.
And I'm Sophia.
So, today we're going to talk about something interesting, juicy as usual. So, we all know about feminism. Sindio. And let me talk to my girls. Girls, I need your like input on this. So like kuna hii issue about strong independent woman. About ndo tutaanzia. Strong independent woman. What do you understand by the definition strong independent woman? Dana, see. Tuambie what's your take?
To me, what some women, let me not generalize women in general, but what some women think, what is the name of that?
The name of feminism.
Well, most women think of strong, independent women. I was looking for that word.
Strong
Sorry.
independent, okay.
What most women think of being a strong, independent woman is that you will never ask for help from anyone. Like not even your parents, not even your boyfriend. You just have everything in control, which is a lie. Like you must have your downs and. But most women wanaona tu like, oh, mimi ni strong, independent woman. Strong, independent woman, naona hata mia kwa handbag. Like.
So like according to you, that's a toxic trait. Is it positive or negative?
It's negative because at the end of the day, you need help.
Okay.
Even if you have millions.
I think we're talking about the modern.
Of course.
What did you ask?
Strong independent woman. Okay, so technically, let's just strong independent. So strong independent, our parents gave birth to us. Now they raised us, and they took us to school and they taught us how to survive life, right? And you know how
Did they really teach us how to survive life?
they did.
They just taught us not to mess with certain people, not to
Technically,
do
our
certain
parents
things.
They
But
did actually.
we taught ourselves how life is going to be.
No, they gave us the theoretic part. We have to do it practically. When your parent was like, don't overspend this, because we don't have like enough financial resources to, don't go with those people, don't do this, the don'ts. You can do this, you can do this. When you realize this type of person is like this, you can go hang out with them. But this type of person they were teaching us. But now we are in the field. Yeah, we're doing it practically. And for me, when it comes to a strong independent woman, I believe is being able to stand on your 2 feet when everything seems as if like they're collapsing, as if kila kitu ina diminish. Understand? So for me, it's not a toxic trait per se, because we can't always rely on human beings. Human beings are so unreliable, like especially men. I mean, you both can attest to that. Especially men. When it comes to a man, I have had to go to school. I get myself a job. I try and find a financial backup. If I get a man who can take care of me, that's fine. That doesn't make me strong or independent. You understand? It doesn't mean that I'm not. It just means that I love this man and we're complementing each other. You understand? So strong independent means I'm able, with or without this man, I can be able to make it in life. You understand? But when it comes to my relationship, my strong and independence has nothing to do with it, because he's my man at the end of the day. I'm going to do everything and he requires me to do, which leads me to the next question. Who heads the family? Is this supposed to be the one who is providing, or is it supposed to be the man?
The man. is the head of the family.
Okay, fair enough.
I feel like he is, apart from stuff with providing, he's always supposed to be the head of the family, you know.
What do you think?
I feel like y'all can share the head.
Okay, what do you understand by head of the family? Just talk to me.
Just running the household.
How?
But when you say running the household, that's more of the woman's.
But does that make the
Like
woman the
the
head
house, not like
Okay.
finance. Anyone can. I'm not trying to contradict myself, but I feel like it can be shared.
In terms of what makes a person, an individual, the head of the family so that it can be shared?
Obviously, the husband can like be the financer and the woman can be the being financed for the house.
What of judgment? Judgment when it comes to organizing the family, when it comes to if I want to take the family to the trip, if I want the family to go to church, if I want my family to behave in this type of way, who is supposed to come up with the overall judgment? Because
you should come up with it together.
A country can only have one president.
But that is a country and that is the family.
I feel the man, because when you say about running the household, the woman can run the household, you know, while the man is running other things. So that one can be both shared. But when it comes to about being the head, I think the man it suits more the man.
Like yesterday, they like you said, like going to trips and what religion, like obviously I can't, let's say for example I have my husband and then he wants our kids to be Muslims and I want our kids to be Christians. Like that's something we must talk about. Like,
but I think you should have been in agreement before you started a family.
Yeah.
Because why would you start a family? Then now, after starting the family, in the middle of managing your family, is now when you want to find a balance. Now you want to start confusing your kids because they will not have a firm ground. Because now there is two religion. When I'm going to a Muslim man, we sit down and we talk. So we're like, this is my religion and that's your religion. So like, what you comfortable with? Are you comfortable being Christian? Like, what is supposed to be done? Like, what's the most appropriate way? Because
it's not a matter of like I married a Muslim guy. Maybe we're both Christians, but I personally, I love how Muslims like carry themselves, how they are so loyal to their religion. Like maybe I want to put that to my kids. Like for example,
wait, let her explain. Proceed.
I'm coming up with something. Okay, anyway, like let's say I was born in a Christian family. So I grew up with Muslim friends and whatever, and the way that they just carry themselves, the way they love their religion and whatever, and maybe I want to put that into my kids.
Okay.
You never know circumstances.
But that is but you should instill that idea into your husband before you have children, don't you think? Because now when you have children, these children belong to both of you. And it's not going to be fair if one parent decide to impose one thing on them. Because unless you come up with an agreement, you're not going to be able to bring these children right, don't you think?
And it doesn't make you the head still. And you can never have two heads in the family.
I was talking about sharing the head.
All right.
And the question is, like, how? Exactly how? Because you cannot just say, like, what do you mean? Like, sharing? What are they sharing exactly?
They're sharing decision making, like, just things in relationships and life.
Okay.
Because me personally, I would want to, like, have sit downs and days that we just sit down together and we talk like okay, this what do you think about this? Not that the guy has just come out of nowhere and is like, this is what should be done.
True. Okay, fair enough.
Like that's where I'm coming from.
So you are not a fan of submission?
I know. Only in the other sector, but this one.
But what is your understanding of submission? I'm just curious.
On this sector and the other one.
No, like let's just talk about it generally.
Okay, generally, my understanding to submission is that you do what your husband says. Let's say in the olden days, before women knew their worth. I'm so sorry to say that, but before women knew their worth, like it was, you were just going to stay in the kitchen, you cook for your husband, you wash your husband's clothes, you polish his shoes. Like, you never got to say that, today I'm not going to be doing this for you, you should do it yourself. Like, they used to submit, they used to do everything that the husband says. Like, that's my understanding of submission. It's being submissive. And
Okay. So like, assume your husband is very wealthy, very wealthy, extremely wealthy, and like he gives you every single thing you need.
now when you come to that point, I mean, I feel like, I don't know, but I wish we had a guy here and we asked him, like, do you want a woman who always submits to you? You don't want, like, someone who just says no once in a while.
No, submission does not necessarily mean doesn't necessarily mean you do everything he says. It
And that's
means
not
it means you give him first hand when it comes to making decisions that involve the family. For instance, when your child is sick, you come from home and you've learned your child is sick. You talk to your husband and tell him, I think our son is sick. And then you let him see. You give him the first hear. Sijui kuna nielewa. Like unamwacha ana make your first decision. Like you're supposed to be the helper. If he cannot be able to make that first decision, then there is where you come in. You can give him it's like when your sibling is having issues with your parents. You understand? So like your parents will try and talk to your sibling, but you can be the second parent and try and advise sibling wako. Now it's like you're chipping in. You understand? So when it comes to like leading a household, like how you run your day-to-day activity, whatever it is you do, so you give your man the veto to begin. Like, what's your opinion? You listen to him. Then after listening to him, if you do not agree with it, you can give your opinion. If you agree with it, you go ahead and do it.
Then it's sharing. He's not entirely the head.
Don't you
Because
think?
if he was the head, like, what he says goes.
No, I think like now you're confusing this with toxic masculinity. When your man is so like aggressive and he does not want to listen to anything, and no, that's not the case. Because men understand they're also human beings, and when someone loves you, because right now I see like in relationships, a man will generally tone down and listen to the wife. But women do not tone down and listen to the husband. They don't.
Not all women.
Which makes it the question like Swalia submission.
Okay, most.
Like you just try and listen to them. When something is up, like the woman will always be on the front line. You understand? And then the man comes hapo nyuma. But shouldn't he be the leader? Wouldn't you, if you love a man?
Why can't a woman be the leader?
There's no problem if a woman becomes a leader. There's no problem if a woman becomes a leader. It's still okay. In fact, most instances, women are naturally leaders because we have to take care of our children. That is leading a bunch of people, a bunch of tiny people. You have to lead. So technically, naturally, women, we are built to become leaders. But when it becomes to general administration, now this is not leading. Let's call it another way because it's called administration. Taking care of the family, taking care of the wife, having veto over everyone in the family. Generally, I feel like it's only fair if the man has this.
Okay.
If you take away this from a man, men cease to have function. They cease to have purpose.
Yeah.
They don't.
What do you mean? What?
What is the purpose of a man in a relationship? Okay, other than sex. What is the purpose of a man in a relationship? Let's talk about like tukiongea like in terms of marriage. Tusiongea in terms of dating kwanza. In like marriage. Kazi ya bwana, like the husband, kazi yake ni gani?
You said apart from
Sex.
Of course, leading, making sure everything is alright in the house.
If you take this is the one
Job, you know.
this is the
what if
only
the guy doesn't have a job?
You're not talking about job here. I'm just saying.
But you're saying leading, providing, that needs money.
I'm saying leading and taking care of the family. I did not mention providing.
Technically,
but apart from sex now, the man is supposed to make sure the family is safe actually.
With?
okay, listen. When I genuinely love someone, first of all, I respect this person.
Mm-hmm.
There are several circumstances that can lead a man to have a job or not have a job.
No,
You
I'm
understand?
asking, like you said, what's the purpose of a guy
Yes,
in a
yes.
relation? And then she said
So-
to make sure everything's with.
No, I'm answering the first question.
Uh-huh.
So technically, if this man does not have a job, does not take his manhood, he's still a man. He might get a job in future. He might. But if you disrespect him because he does not have a job, what makes you think he will want to be with you if he has a job? In fact, women always talk a lot but have little to offer. What do you bring in the relationship? What do you have to offer?
Obviously, you're not supposed to disrespect him. Like, you guys, like, you decided to come into, like, the relationship together because you love each other. So I don't think there's ever a room of disrespect.
Okay, they shouldn't be a room.
You should
They
not.
should not be a room for disrespect.
Yes.
But now, so there is a very thin line drawn there. If we are supposed to be equals, what does the woman bring to the table? Because a man knows since birth, I as a man have to provide for my family. I have to work to keep my family secure, to give them the best life possible. But what's the purpose of a woman? Most men don't want to date, not because they don't want to. It's because the disadvantages outweighs the benefits.
Yeah.
So, like, as a woman, what do you have to offer? The only thing you can offer to a man is that respect. Let him lead. If you take away that, there's nothing you're offering to this man. When you say, okay, what would you offer if you're dating right now? What would you offer to your boyfriend?
Obviously, I would offer him the respect, the love, and the services.
What about you?
Respect.
I have talked to several people, several girls before, and they're like, I would offer myself.
Bro.
Okay, it's fine. You can offer yourself, but how? Like, the guy is also bringing himself. He has offered his time. He has offered, like, his space. Like, so what are you offering other than your so-called self? Because him being here, him giving his attention, him giving his love, he's also offering himself. So what are you as a woman offering? What are you bringing to the relationship?
I think being submissive at some point, respect, as in trying to make him feel like he belongs. So I came to understand that men usually find it hard to express themselves, maybe because they think we will take advantage of how they feel actually.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And like, on that note, it comes to, like, it's actually a challenge that most girls are facing. And if you try and look at this category of girls who claim not to want to be submissive, or who claim they want to be the so-called strong, independent, and always be out there, and they want to lead, most of them are like, they find it really hard to stay in a relationship. And the idea is, if you really want to be in a relationship, you have to do the things that will try and make it work. You understand? The idea is, if I love you, if I really, really, really love you, and I want to be with you, I will sacrifice myself so that you can be okay. I will give you peace of mind. I will give you the attention you need. I will, all these are at the comfort of me.
Yeah.
You understand? Because I can choose to give my time to something else. I can choose to give my attention to something else. But it's because Juni wewe nataka, I will have to sacrifice and compromise. You understand? So, like, when you the only thing a man needs from you is submission, and you don't.
And
But why not give tiny bit of submission?
What do you mean by tiny bit of submission?
Like, see, obviously he's going to be the dominant male and whatever, but you know, sometimes it's kind of fun to bend the rules a little bit, just a little bit,
Yeah.
just a tiny bit. Like, okay, obviously, like you respect him, you do this, you do that, but let's say you don't fully submit, but you do something that does not hurt his
Ego.
emotions, his ego, like evil.
But what can you do?
Guys, what can you do?
Like,
Comment down.
like honestly, like, what can you do to a man? And that is the question. Like, what are you bringing? Like, what will you do to keep him? What?
You can never keep a man.
He can only choose to be kept
Yeah.
by you. He can only choose to be kept by you. But I usually feel sometimes we mock them when they make decisions, and
How is that?
most of the times
We mock them.
toxic women mock let's say people when they make their own decisions.
True. Very, very true. And like some instances, you can find a woman gaslighting the husband and making this guy feel like less of a human being. For instance, like your husband amepoteza kazi. Why are we talking like married people? Acha nishukishe chini. Your boyfriend amepoteza kazi, and like he doesn't bring anything to the table anymore the way he used to. And you really, really understand that people lose their jobs out there. And he has genuinely lost his job. And he's out there trying to, like, make a living. Like, he's busting his ass. But you're out there nagging him, telling him how useless he is. And, you know, like...
You shouldn't tell him when he's busting his ass outside looking for money. Like, that shouldn't even be happening. But if it's a couch potato... seated playing video games, can't even wash the dishes, bro, there we have a problem. Like, for real.
It's a problem. Yeah.
There's a difference. Like, if you're out there looking, you're trying everything. Like, atakama, I'll come from work and I'll come and I'll find you haven't done something. I'll be like, maybe he's caught up. Like, obviously, let me just do it myself. But sasa nimeshinda like 8-hour shift somewhere. I come back, you're still on the couch. I left you in the morning. You have your bags of chips everywhere. The dishes are not done. Who are you joking with? Like, there we have a problem.
But at the same time, we are not supposed to make them feel belittled.
Belittled, and you're not doing anything.
I feel like when it comes to matters of relationship, a lot of people are scared or they do not want to participate in maturity. Because when you do something that I'm uncomfortable with, I will look you dead straight in the eye and tell you, so, okay, so this is what is happening. I really, really understand that you don't have a job, but I'm so much uncomfortable with whatever it is you're doing. Yeah. So please try and make efforts.
Yeah.
I need to feel as if you're doing something. Try, if you cannot be out there trying to look for a job, at least help me.
At least
by doing something.
When I come home with bags of vegetables, come kuja unipokee. At least remember, hey, how was work? Give my foot a massage.
But it also depends.
But
how
see, dem unaingia. But pia nayo madem
says depends the way you put the statement.
Yeah, you can't come in and be like, you stupid person, you've been sitting on the couch the whole day.
The way you put the statement.
As much as he's not doing anything, but that's
I feel like let's call it. Majority of women are aggressive in terms of speech, which for me is actually really, really wrong. Yes, you really need to know. Communication is something that is really, really important. And you can say something out of anger or out of sadness or out of fear or out of love that you really did not mean at that. Yeah. Like, so like communication is just about everything.
I think as women we should work on that. But ata kwa communication, you know, sometimes people choose to understand what they hear. Instead of sitting down and trying to understand.
True. That one is also true.
Yeah.
Because you might be able, you got to the point you're trying to communicate to your husband or boyfriend or partner and tell him, so you know, I'm not comfortable with you doing this and this and this, and then like, so you're laughing at me.
Exactly.
You're making me look...
That's gaslighting. That is gaslighting.
Yeah. Like sometimes you can choose to communicate, but they don't listen to understand, then listen only to answer,
Okay. So like where does this leave men? Because you have talked about something to do with communication. They get uncomfortable, they don't want to participate in some particular types of conversation. So like how do we help them? How should we help them? Like what are we supposed to do? You get to a point where this guy is on a job, frustrate. Like hata na hiyo kuna hii yenye niliona, this guy has lost a job and every morning he wakes up, anaamka, anaoga, anavaa suti, anabeba briefcase, anaenda job, knowing pretty well he does not have a destination to go to.
God will give him the destination.
Because I feel like pia wanaume wanafaa understand the truth is actually so liberating. Inakupatia some sense of freedom. Like I'd rather deal with the devil I know than the angel that I don't. When you come and tell me dead straight to the face, I don't like this. You understand? Because hebu angalia relationships zenye zimekuwa zinaanzwa based on lies, and then your husband is lying to you, so you think I have a man, he's out there, he's working, kumbe mtu bloody fucking ana kazi, msee amekuwa akishinda akivaa suti ameenda ana chill na sijui kina nani yuko. This man should be able to feel comfortable and just come and tell me, you know what, I got laid off, I lost my job.
Obviously he must tell you, like, so that you can sit down and now figure out, like, okay, now you've lost your job, what do we do?
Yeah,
like
find solutions.
There's no
So
at the end of the month lazima bibi anangoja aseme, okay, hii ni pesa yenye mimi nimepata, acha niweke. Wewe uko na wewe hujamwambia umefutwa kazi. Sasa imebaki like, okay, pesa yangu yote bro.
Umesema hivyo nika kumbuka, so like when it comes to men require women to submit, right? I'm not in dispute of that. We'll submit, but complete submission leads the man not to trust the wife when it comes to emergencies. You understand? Because assuming you have been providing for your family for like 10 years and you have given them the best life, the lavish life, and then you get laid off, you lose your job.
So like the woman gets comfortable with.
So now, first the woman will get comfortable.
Exactly,
secondly, the man will feel embarrassed to come home and. You understand?
Yeah. For me, if my future husband out there, you just give me money every single day, trust me, they'll be in the savings. That's
what I was saying. I remember last time I was talking about savings. I was thinking, like, if people are married, they should like have like 4 bank accounts, moja yako, ingine yangu personally, I'm not supposed to touch. Then we have 2 for the savings, both of us joint savings. Then the joint savings is for
this thing about joint savings. I would never try.
But you guys are married. You're not boyfriend and girlfriend.
No, as much as we are married, joint savings account.
No, you have your own account that you put your own money.
I know, I have mine. That thing. He has his, and then we have another joint.
Yeah,
I know it's a joint bank.
All right, but me, I feel like it's really important, because this man said you're supposed to use him. You are married together, so you are one. It means
you are one, but when it comes to money, bank accounts,
the only way I am opening a joint savings account is if and only if it belongs to my children.
Yes. That one I can agree. But actually,
you have like 2 joints. It's you to choose. One it's for baby school fees.
That's why we are saying.
And ingine ni msitoe acha tu kayapo ni watu.
But it's so like when it comes to joint savings, this is money I'm stocking in for like a long time. And you understand things like divorce happen, don't you? It can get really dirty pretty quick.
I will only open a joint account.
When you consider positive reactions, you'll be motivated to positive actions. So, positive.
If I open a joint account, that is for my kids, under my kids' name. There is positive action and then there is reality. You understand?
Hakuna mtu
acha nikwambie, hakuna mtu mwenye ataenda kwa relationship.
Atuongelee ni ya long term, in ya kusave in case school fees we pay. Hivyo if the bills
ndio nakwambia itakuwa under watoto.
All right.
Denial.
Yeah, kama iko,
guys, I'm again. It's
hata kama
alright.
iko, it's not going to benefit me, it's not going to benefit him, it's going to be for the children. And nani kwao. Because things can get really, really bad. And no one goes to a relationship and say like, now nataka niingie kwa, like, I just want to start fighting. Like I want, you always, it's supposed to be flourish, it's beautiful. No, shit just goes down. And just go from 100 to 0 pretty quick. Now you have to start going to find a lawyer, and now you have to like go to all these court sessions and my friend.
Where?
My friend.
By the way, this is like, sorry to say, but there's but for our son, everything that was his is ours. Which is case of communities. I'm so sorry to say, but there are some.
Alright.
I personally had.
So like nakwambia, like, you see, when it comes to your story in a joint account, I was like trying to tell you a story where this lady had the joint account with her husband. They used to work, I think the husband was a lecturer and she was like an influencer, so that like walikuwa na wanaingiza pesa hapo until one day this man just decided and wiped out the entire account. Like that was like $150. Ali clean out your account.
Must be bad.
And this was before the divorce. This was before the divorce. Withdraw your pesa. Ukienda kwa koti utaenda useme nini? No, it was a joint account. Nyinyi wote mko na 50-50 shares. Like he akona rights na
joint account mtu anaweza kutoa peke yake.
Unaweza.
Unaweza. I thought it was you, both of you to nini.
Not really.
Alright.
You can.
Yeah, okay.
So technically, you see, it has it.
I think it's someone's choice,
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, so like you tumeongelea story na aggression. Mademu wanafaa ku understand when you wanna communicate to their partners. That is something that if you want to be heard, speak. Yeah. Don't yell.
Yeah. And even to their fellow women.
Yeah.
The jealousy thing, God.
Talking about fellow women, so like there is this notion being propagated, a woman should like literally do what she wants. I don't even believe anybody should do what they want, because if everybody decided to do whatever they wanted,
everyone can do what they want.
The world will be chaos.
But everyone can do what they want. But you can't tell me now I want to kill someone, I can just go and do it.
That's necessarily what you're saying when you say you can do what you want.
No, I'm saying everyone can do what they want, but when it comes to
there's so many buts. Once there's a but, because your but will be someone else's.
Like you can choose to wear what you want, you can choose to eat what you want, you can choose to live where you want. But when it comes to instances that you're like, oh, I want to murder someone, oh, I want to rob, now that is not a good thing. But if you say generally, people cannot do what they want, like in general.
No, generally people cannot always do what they want.
Exactly.
For instance, you cannot tell people to dress the way they want. That is actually, it is not realistic. You cannot go to work in a bikini.
Sure.
You can't. And it's not because when you go there people are going to die. No. There's certain rules and conditions you have to understand, like a human being. If I'm in this particular environment, this dressing code is appropriate for this setup.
Exactly.
You understand? If you're out chilling with your boyfriend, you can decide and wear whatever it is that makes both of you comfortable. It's not the same when you are with your grandparents.
Exactly. Yeah.
You understand? Like these are just unspoken rules, and me trying to tell everybody or most people to just do what the fuck you want. It's you, it's your body, we understand. But this also, okay, and I quote this. I'm not saying this to try and make men or give men an upper hand. You understand? Men should be accountable. When I dress skimpily, when I dress all sexy and hot, or like I'm in very, very tight, skinny, short clothes, and I go to places that may put me at risk, I know very well that I'm prone to rape.
Exactly.
This does not make the man who raped me any less accountable for what he did. He should be fully accountable. In fact, by law, akwe arrested. I know I have not done anything that should deserve to be raped. You understand? Protecting myself. When I dress, I should be accountable for like
Exactly. You should
repercussions
also
zenye
protect
zinakam.
yourself. Eh?
Understand?
Yeah.
So if I decide to wear a short cloth, I should understand place na hang out nayo.
And also we know these are human beings and they have feelings, you know. But at the end of it, we are not supporting men on stuff with rape at all.
We should be careful. We should be careful. You just understand the environment you're going to and what dress code is appropriate for that environment. You are allowed to wear whatever it is you want, but you need to be a little bit smart about it, just to take care of yourself. But if you know you hang around good people, you can do you.
Can do you, baby.
You can do you. It's as simple as that. Yeah. Toxic feminine trait is conspiring about your fellow woman because she is making it in life, or she's doing better than you think.
Yeah, the achievements.
Yes. Because at the end of the day, we're all trying to be something. And you know, when you're jealous towards someone, you're not going to do positive things to try and support this person. Definitely, your actions are going to be.
And as women, we usually have that problem. Sana.
Yeah. I wouldn't say us women, they women.
All right. No
I wouldn't.
I'm just like isikane kama we are pointing out on someone, that's why I say
no, but
sometimes.
I feel like if you're one way of addressing an issue is talking about it. So if you're jealous, I don't know if it would help, but just tell someone you're jealous.
Obviously, it doesn't help.
People are different. Kuna mwenye she'll tell you, "Oh, I'm so jealous of your life. You have everything that I don't have." Upate mtu mwenye anakuambia hivyo.
That's rare.
Shukuru Mungu.
Sana.
No, but because we know they're not there, but we're trying to say
they are there, man.
If you feel like you're jealous, try and say it out. Like ukimwambia maybe atakupatia tips, or like maybe you mnaweza understandiana, but taking jealousy and sitting on it, because sometimes you can envy something someone has because you don't have and you want it. You understand? But ukiongelelea inaifanya neutralize.
The more jealousy inaendelea kukua, the more you think of.
There's this thing about with Arab families. You go to their place, they're like, "Oh wow, I love that. Take it, go with it." They give you like, "Oh, I love your vase. Oh, you want it? Take it." For real, like.
But generally, I feel women should like stop it, because most of the times we are. You see someone akona hizi vitu and you don't have, and you actually feel like you should have it. It is you who is supposed to have it. So what comes next to your mind? By the way, she's not going to have it.
Yeah. So but basically we should be out there like supporting each other. A woman is our own enemy.
Yeah, I hate that word, Sana, by the way.
When I see my fellow woman doing something wrong, let me point it out.
Yeah.
I tell you, no, don't do this. If I see a woman doing something, I'll be like, girl, go girl.
Something
empowerment,
good,
you know? Yeah. But like your moment unaka chini, you feel like my fellow female should not be prospering while I sit down. I pretty much do not support that. We should call out if good things are good things, it's supposed to be told. If bad things pia mwambiwe,
and wrong can never make a right.
Pia dem unafaa ku avoid kuacha kuwa petted on the back, because you should just the truth is just the truth. You understand?
The truth will set you
free. I feel you talked about that and I remembered something. Sometimes, let's say at workplaces, there are women who usually disrespect men, because most of the times the society usually looks at a woman weaker than the man. So they tend to disrespect the man akijua, even if hata nikisema hii itaka because like when it comes to society, they will judge the man sana.
True.
So that's a toxic trait that women should stop, you know.
Yeah, because she will always get the upper hand and putting herself in dangerous positions, or like so as to portray the man who's on the wrong. Yeah, that is so wicked. There are so many bad people out here. Like we need to look out for ourselves. Yeah.
Conclude. So as we conclude, I think we should all say what we think is appropriate.
Well, women should stop victimizing themselves. Take care of yourself. A man will not give you everything, and even if he does, you need to be able to, because we must have insurance. Anything can happen. You understand? So yeah, basically that's just it.
What do you think, Hadi?
Women should respect their loved ones.
There's more to life. There's more to life. We should put ego and pride aside and work on ourselves first before we think about how other people act. So
Yes, so until next time.
bye bye.